Hey everyone, I'm Asha Robles, and here's what happened this week on Trendspotting. A mother and her boyfriend are accused of sexually assaulting a child. Police say the minor reported the alleged sexual attacks to officials at her school. Authorities learned the victim was being sexually assaulted by a man known to her, while the female suspect would allegedly hold her down. Xavier Joss, 41, is charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct, fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, felonious restraint, child abuse, and family violence. Evelyn Albert, 34, is charged with child abuse, family violence, and guilt established by complicity. The case has been forwarded to the Office of Attorney General for prosecution. This is how some of the community reacted. Mo Evangelista states, "I'm so proud of this little girl for being brave and reporting it. As for these two animals, they need to be spayed and neutered and thrown back to where they came from." Casey Flores says, "This happens too much on Guam. There needs to be stricter consequences for sex offenders. Something has to be done about this." Joseph Sagdahl, the man accused in the 2017 double homicide in Harmon, will spend over 8 years behind bars after pleading guilty to manslaughter in court on Thursday, December 6. It was in December 2017, near the Hemlani Apartments in Harmon, Sagdahl claims he was randomly hit in the face with a slingshot. He chased down his attackers, then shooting and killing Brokey Thamaso and A.V. Marichong. An emotional moment inside the courtroom, quote, "All my life, I had tried to be a good man," end quote, Sagdahl said. As Sagdahl addressed the court before being taken back to the prison, noting, quote, "My only intention to come back to that place that night was to repay kindness that was shown to me when I needed it the most, not to cause any pain to anybody. These are lessons I will be taking with me for the rest of my life. Their deaths weigh heavily on my soul. I will serve time, but I refuse to let this defy my existence," end quote. Sagdahl, who has spent the past year in prison, is sentenced to 15 years with all but 9 years and 3 months suspended. He is also given credit for time already served. That means the 25-year-old will spend just over 8 years locked up. Defense attorney Clyde Lehman says, quote, "The big thing is he is going to get out. He will be in his 30s. He will be a young man. Had we gone to trial, we might have won and we might have lost, and he wouldn't spend the rest of his life in prison, so that's the trade-off," end quote. Wife My Rosemary Chong said, quote, "I am not satisfied with the plea. I want a longer jail time. He left me with 2 kids," end quote. Even nearly 1 year later, she says her 7-year-old son and 4-year-old daughter are still asking about dad. The court noted Sagdahl's deal was only for Mary Chong's death. The government unable to get a hold of the other victim, Brokey Thamaso's family. Sagdahl is scheduled to return to court next year. A restitution hearing has been set for February 4th. Here's how viewers reacted. Jezra says, "For any severe crime that results in death of a person shouldn't be given any plea deal. This is another example of a loophole in the unjustice system. Fail." And Angel of the Heaven 81 says he deserves a better deal than this. If you were driving by the Judiciary of Guam Wednesday morning, you may have noticed the American flag flying upside down. Though this typically is a signal of distress, the judiciary confirms it was a mistake. According to the judiciary's Director of Policy, Planning, and Community Relations, Sean Gumatautau, it was, quote, "put up erroneously and corrected immediately," end quote. This photo was viewer submitted and captured around 8 a.m. These are some of the comments our community let out. AJ Miyoshi says, "Should be one of those, quote, 'you had one job,' end quote memes." Right above it all says, "It's a reflection of what's going on at the court and Attorney General's office. Cops arrest criminals, courts and Attorney General's office release them to commit more crimes, then the cops re-arrest them, and the cycle continues." And another viewer says, "How can something like that even happen? That is unacceptable." In lighter news, a huge congratulations to our Guam's men's basketball team. Team Guam finished undefeated at 6-0 in pool play at the FIBA Asia Cup pre-qualifiers in Thailand. Guam defeated Malaysia 101-78 in their final game of the competition. Congratulations, boys. Here's how our fans reacted. That's it for now. We'll see you guys next week.